Welcome back to LCME and Me, covering the important things you need to know about LCME accreditation. Today, we're going to talk about promotion and appeals. So how are decisions made about promotion and graduation? How does the appeal process work? So LCME expects a single defined set of standards for graduation, so determining that endpoint for students when they graduate, and for promotion, those intermittent steps along the way that lead towards graduation. And we have three important policies within the College of Medicine that govern that we need to make sure you're familiar with. So one of those is our graduation requirements policy. And this policy defines what's required to graduate. And it includes completion of the course requirements, achievement of the program objectives, so those objectives that govern the entire curriculum, and passing USMLE Step 1 and Step 2 within 4 attempts. The second policy to be aware of is our advancement and promotion policy. This also talks about graduation and that it's determined by completing graduation requirements within 6 years. And promotion is determined by completing the required courses within that academic year, satisfactory progress on the program objectives, and satisfactory progress on an SVPC action, if applicable. And we'll talk about what those actions are. And so this process of advancement and promotion is determined by our Student Progress and Promotion Committee, or SPPC. And so here are those SPPC actions that committee can take when necessary: a notice of concern, an isolated deficiency, academic probation, or dismissal. So the third policy to be aware of is our good standing policy. And so this defines whether students are in good standing or not. And so based on these actions, is a given student in good standing? So from a notice of concern, yes. From an isolated deficiency, yes, as long as they're making satisfactory progress on an action plan. And then for academic probation and dismissal, no, they're not in good standing under those circumstances. Okay, so now let's talk about appeals. So the LCME expects that each student has the opportunity to review and challenge their own educational record. So that includes an opportunity to appeal those SPPC actions that we were just looking at. But it also includes an opportunity to appeal things for courses and clerkships. So how does that work? So here's a question so you can use as a knowledge check. According to our appeals policy, which of the following can students appeal in a course? And this is a choose all that applies. So you can decide what combination of A through G is applicable here. Course requirements, exam quiz scores, final grade, instructor or supervisor assignment, narrative comments, performance ratings, or scores on written assignments. Which combination of these do you think students can appeal in a course? Well, the answer is these. They can appeal any exam or quiz scores in the course. They can appeal the final grade in the course. They can appeal narrative comments that they receive on an evaluation. They can appeal performance ratings that are given. They can appeal any scores on written assignments. So importantly, all of these things that they can appeal are assessments. And so the students have the right to appeal their grade and any assessments in the course or clerkship, and that's governed by our academic appeals policy. So how does that happen? So here's your second question. So hypothetically, a student's receiving a failing grade in your course and wishes to appeal. To whom do they appeal at each level in the process? So who do they appeal to first? And then based on the outcome of that appeal, if they want to appeal further, who do they appeal to second and third? And so you can see some different combinations. Course director is the first level versus associate dean of curriculum at the second level versus the ombudsman at the third level. Or course director, SPPC, senior associate dean, or site director, course director, dean, etc. So look through these different levels. Think about who do you think the student appeals to at each of the 3 levels. Well, the answer is the first level is course director, the second level is associate dean for curriculum, and the third level is the ombudsman. So importantly, students appeal their course assessments or grades to the course or clerkship director. And this is also spelled out in our academic appeals policy. And that has to be within 7 days of receiving that assessment or grade. So 7 days after that evaluation is completed, or after that written assignment is graded, or after that exam is finalized. That appeal has to be in writing. Typically, this is via email. The course or clerkship director then reviews that appeal and notifies the student of their decision within 7 days. And in doing so, they also notify the associate dean for curriculum, since they're the next level in the appeal process. So I can imagine the LCME asking you as a course or clerkship director a question like this. If a student disagreed with an assessment in your course, how would the student challenge that assessment? And so think about, based on the appeals policy that we just talked about, think about how you would answer a question like that. So in summary, promotion and graduation decisions are made by SPPC. We have one standard that applies to all students. It's defined by those policies that we talked about. Students can appeal their grade in a course, and they can appeal any assessment in a course or clerkship. And they do so by appealing first to the course or clerkship director. Thanks for joining us as we talked about promotion and graduation and appeals, and we hope you join us for future episodes as we talk about other elements.